Well, the New York Jets weren't the only team to make a huge splash trade today. On the inverse, although I didn't like the Davante Adams move to the New York Jets because I think you're just continuously just giving in to everything Aaron Rodgers wants, and that has clearly not worked out to this point. I absolutely love Amari Cooper to the Buffalo Bills. This Bills team is ready to compete. And what they had last year was a diva wide receiver in Stephon Diggs who demanded his share. Amari Cooper is still very clearly a number one wide receiver. Maybe a low-end number one wide receiver, but a number one wide receiver. And what does this offense need? A clear perimeter threat that can make jump balls and life easier on Josh Allen. Good route runner. The ability to separate, that's what this offense needed. That's what Joe Brady needed. That's what Josh Allen needed. So instead of just saying, well, it's a lot of Josh Allen and James Cook, now you can add in that Amari Cooper effect. And that Amari Cooper effect allows every wide receiver on this roster to come down just a notch and make their workload even easier. So while the New York Jets are fighting for headlines and trying to make their disgruntled quarterback happy and walking on eggshells, the Buffalo Bills show why they are the smarter organization. This is what will always separate the Buffalo Bills and the New York Jets. One word: dysfunction. While the Jets are going after Davante Adams, trying to make the disgruntled quarterback happy, trying to walk on eggshells, trying to not displease him, trying to make everything around him more comfortable, the Bills said, we're not going to overpay for Davante Adams. We're going to go get the younger wide receiver who has steadily progressed and been good everywhere he's went. That has shown results, whether it's with the Raiders, whether it's with the Cowboys, whether it's with the Browns, and never opens his mouth. When was the last time you saw a headline that was, oh, Amari Cooper, he is tearing apart the locker room. He is making people feel uncomfortable. That's not Amari Cooper. And that's what the Bills needed. And that's what separates the Buffalo Bills' marvelous trade in Amari Cooper that will effectively win them the AFC East and the nonsense that is the Jets trying to make their quarterback happy, trying to win the headlines, trying to stay above 500. That's what the difference will always be. Amari Cooper opens up this offense. I love what it does for Josh Allen. I love the timing of it. I love the ability to add another weapon. I love the ability to alleviate less pressure off of Josh Allen. My biggest concern with the Buffalo Bills was always they were just too bleeping Josh Allen dependent. James Cook helped with that. But then James Cook went down with an injury, missing his first game in his NFL career. Amari Cooper adds another element to this offense, allows them to take some more deep shots. And now you look at the Buffalo Bills and you say, wow, they've got 3 good wide receivers and 2 good backs with the emergence of Ray Davis and 2 good tight ends with Dawson Knox and Dalton Kincaid, and all led by a superstar quarterback. And I might have my issues with Sean McDermott, but I can't lie, he's a capable, smart head coach, even if he can't get over the hump. And sure, the defense has some issues. But what you're supposed to do is exactly what the Buffalo Bills are doing. Identify issues on this team. Identified weaknesses. And go get that player. This defense with the defensive head coach, he'll get the most out of them that he can. Adding a guy like Amari Cooper will open up this offense. This is why now, I tweeted immediately after this trade and I said, and just like that, whatever the odds are, whatever the percentage says, just like that, with the emergence and with the trade of Amari Cooper to the Buffalo Bills, they just won the AFC East. Because that's what separates them and the New York Jets. Just pure dysfunction. Jets can go win headlines. Jets can make their disgruntled Jets can make their disgruntled quarterback happy. They can walk on eggshells. The Bills will just go get the quietly productive wide receiver who's been good everywhere. A good route runner, stays largely healthy, if I'm not mistaken, as I frantically look that part up. I guess I probably should have had that part prepared. Normally I'll have everything done, but I guess for some reason that just popped in my head. So for the past numerous amount of seasons, 16 games played, 16 games played, 15 games played, 17 games played, 15 games played, 6 games played. Amari Cooper doesn't miss games. And regardless who his quarterback is, could be whoever the Oakland Raiders were running out there, could be Dak Prescott, could be Deshaun Watson or Joe Flacco. The dude just gets 1,000 yards and a handful of touchdowns. That's what this Bills offense needed. A selfless wide receiver that can help take the top off, alleviate pressure off Josh Allen, alleviate pressure from James Cook, and add another element to this offense. And it makes sense. It's do or die for the Bills, or at least in the front office, at least for the coaching staff. Sean McDermott was probably pushing for this deal. What do you think? Sean McDermott, if they don't win this year, if they win one game and flame out in the playoffs, do you think Bills fans are going to be happy? He understands. It's time to load up. They knew they had to get rid of Stephon Diggs. He was starting to become a head case. It was more about him and not about the team. This is Stephon Diggs, but without the nonsense. That's how good Amari Cooper is. That's how good Amari Cooper can be. That is what he will add to this offense. This team last year phased out Stephon Diggs for the last 6 games. We're statistically good, but in the locker room, not so much. A brilliant grab for the Buffalo Bills. It's not about headlines. It's not about any of the nonsense. It's not about making your quarterback happy. It's about football. And that's what will always separate the good and the bad organizations. Not trading for someone to push away the bad headlines for a day, but simple X's and O's. And that's what makes the most sense. Amari Cooper to the Buffalo Bills is an absolute W. And as all but wrapped up, even with 10 plus games to play, the AFC East. This is exactly what the doctor ordered for the Buffalo Bills.